Is it time to panic for the Kansas City Chiefs? As we talk to you on a Monday morning, and the Chiefs are 0-2. Not something I expected to hear, but you are what your record says you are. And right now, the Chiefs are a bad football team. But when you look at the tape, I do think it's fair to say that, all right, Vic Fangio, tip your cap because he threw a complete changeup at Kansas City in this game. So in the Super Bowl about 7 months ago, zero blitzes in that game. Really dropped back into a lot of zone coverage and really made Mahomes kind of read things and find those tight spots. And he was unable to do that. And that was a typical Vic Fangio zone scheme. Here in this game, yesterday in Kansas City, 11 blitzes. Very significant uptick in the amount of pressure that Patrick Mahomes saw at the line of scrimmage. A lot of man to man coverage behind it. And I think that kind of shows that the Eagles just did not respect the Chiefs receivers. And they said, we are going to lock you up man to man, and we are going to heat up Patrick Mahomes and make him be the weapon. And I thought Patrick responded very well. Career high, 7 scrambles for Patrick Mahomes yesterday. Because when you play man to man behind, if you can find that rushing lane, it's hard for those defenders to see that the quarterback is running. And Mahomes, I thought, did a valiant effort, keeping his team in the game with his legs. We saw that multiple times in the first half. Now, in the second half, the Eagles had a lead, especially late in the game, 2-score lead. You saw Fangio back off the line of scrimmage a little bit, play a little bit more zone coverage, and that's when the Chiefs were able to hit Thornton on the explosive. Nice play by Mahomes, great throw. And he actually missed Thornton earlier in the second half on another wide open play. So maybe the second half of the football game for the Chiefs kind of proves that they're kind of turning a corner. And even though they're 0-2, hopefully that play builds Mahomes' confidence up a little bit to start to take some more shots down the field to loosen up this defense, because in the first half, Philly was very aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. Now, should you panic if you're a Chiefs ticket holder? Well, I would not be thrilled with 0-2. However, if you have no investments on the Chiefs right now, you're waking up today and you can get them at plus 225 to win the AFC West. I'll be honest. That's a bet that I'm probably going to make at some point this week. I do want to hear about Xavier Worthy's status, though, before we head into the Week 3 game. But I expect Kansas City to go into MetLife Stadium this Sunday night and get a big win, get back to 1-2, and then it'll set up for a really fun game in 2 weeks when they are back at home facing the Ravens. All right, but enough yap. Let's go to the tape. I'm going to show you 2 plays. Again, not a lot of dissecting to do here. It was a pretty simple situation for Patrick Mahomes. When he got man-to-man coverage and when he got these pressure looks at the line of scrimmage. What do I mean by pressure looks? So there's the linebacker, Zach Bond. And you're just going to see him creep right up to the line and show blitz. And he is going to blitz. He's actually going to run a stunt where he's going to come this way and then kind of loop around. And what you'll notice Mahomes do, like this is a route, like this is a passing play here on 3rd and short. This is a passing play on 3rd and short, but you see all these linemen engaged, man-to-man coverage behind, man-to-man, man-to-man, and it looks like this safety's coming down to the box to kind of cover Hunt. So this is a man look with a blitz. And you're going to see the lane open up right here because Bond's going to come this way and then try to loop around, but he's going to be a little bit late. And Mahomes just reads it. I mean, look at all this space. This is 3rd and 5 here for the Chiefs in the red zone. And Mahomes makes I would say, an easy read. He was doing this all day long. If he had a rushing lane and there was a lot of backs, look, back to the quarterback. This guy's reading here. This guy's locked up in man coverage here. This safety has no chance to come up and make this play. And Mahomes has this giant pocket of space, and he just reads it really well. And he just gets right up in there, picks up the first down, and he runs over a defender. And it's 1st and 10 for the Chiefs in the red zone in good scoring territory. So let's show you it from the tight angle. And this is where you can really see the blitz. Going to be kind of a stunt blitz from Zach Bond here. Boom, boom, comes up, and then he's going to loop around here. But Mahomes sees it. I mean, look at this gigantic gap. So this is what Mahomes was looking at all day. He was looking at a lot of 5-man fronts, a lot of pressure looks, and he was able to make a pretty nice run. And then later in the drive, he would run in for a touchdown. And again, career high, 7 scrambles for Patrick Mahomes, because in the first half especially, he was getting a lot of man coverage looks. All right, let's go to the 4th quarter now. And let's show you the exact opposite of that. Four-man front. Zach Bond is back here playing a normal linebacker position. And this is going to be a zone coverage scheme. And this is going to be the touchdown to Thornton, right? Thornton's going to run this deep post route. I think that's Hollywood Brown's going to run the Dover, deep over. And then you're going to see actually, who is that zero? I don't even, oh, that's Juju Smith-Schuster, excuse me, number 9. Schuster is going to run this just little wheel route to the outside. So the thing I want to show you here, though, is the coverage scheme from Philly. Again, Vic Fangio does a really good job in disguising coverages. But in this particular case, he kind of disguises himself right out of the play. I think, and I don't know, I'm not an expert in Vic Fangio coverage schemes. There's a couple of, actually, a really good account. I think it's at Honest NFL that does a really good job with deciphering the Vic Fangio scheme. He's a big Vic Fangio fan. He tracks all the plays. I think he's a former coordinator or a former scout. And I get a lot of information from him about where things are going. I think, and if I'm wrong, roast me for it. I don't care. I'm wrong a lot. I think they are trying to rotate into a too-high look here. So you see right now, at the snap, they're giving you this kind of too-high shell. But right when the motion comes to this side, you're going to see this safety drop, this safety come up, and then this safety drop. So actually, this is frankly a corner. But again, they're kind of rotating safeties. They're kind of rotating what they think they're going to play in the back. So if you let the motion play out, now you can see this safety come up, and then this guy, Quinyon Mitchell, is going to drop at the snap. So I think this looks like zone to me. Right here, it actually kind of looks like cover 3, but it kind of morphs into a cover 2 because this safety is going to pick up the Dover, right? You got the Dover out, the deep over out coming over here, and Mitchell is going to stay locked on Juju. So what that does is it allows Thornton, middle of the field open, to just streak right down the center on this post route. And you could see it open up here. Mitchell is late adjusting. He is trailing, no chance. And I think that's Cooper DeJean is trying to jump that Dover route. But Mahomes has time, makes a nice throw. Frankly, it's actually a little underthrown. And Thornton makes a nice catch. I want to show you from the tight because you could see Mahomes knows here he's got 2 linemen on 2 blockers, or 2 defensive linemen with 2 offensive line. 2 offensive linemen blocking 2 defensive linemen. Hat on a hat, hat on a hat. And on this side, he's got 3 blockers for just 2 rushers. And Mahomes knows that, so what does he do? He takes a deep drop to his right to give himself and Thornton a lot of time to get down the field. There's the little slide. Look at that. He's got plenty of time. He knows where his protection is. And then he just lets it rip in classic Patrick Mahomes fashion. Nice throw, nice catch. Mascots dancing. All that fun stuff. So, where are we at on the Chiefs? They're 0-2. Obviously, nobody wants to be 0-2. But I do think there's a certain level of optimism that they played an okay football game yesterday. They outgained Philly yards per play. They didn't make any critical mistakes besides the fluky deflection interception that really flipped the game. I mean, honestly, I am convinced that if the Chiefs kick a field goal there, they win this football game. Because I do think in the second half, Mahomes kind of figured out that you're getting a little bit more zone coverage, and they started to gain a little bit more confidence throwing the ball down the field. And frankly, I thought Kelce played a good game yesterday. I know he's going to get pegged with that interception. And it was not his best moment for sure. He should have got his head around just a little bit sooner, and the timing was just a little bit off. But he made a few really nice plays in this game. I think the whole Kelce is washed narrative needs to go away. I do think he is not back to his Pro Bowl form, but I think he's a functional tight end in this offense, and he knows Mahomes so well that he's going to continue to make big plays. when called upon. I would buy the Chiefs at plus 225 to win the AFC West. I am not one of the people watching that film that I watched this morning thinking that this team is completely dead. That is arguably the best defense in the NFL. They have the best defensive coach, I think, in the NFL in terms of scheme. I mean, again, he completely switched up his scheme from the Super Bowl. He didn't blitz Mahomes once in the Super Bowl. It was all zone coverage. Yesterday they said, screw you, Chiefs receivers. We're going to heat you up, and we're going to play man-to-man because we don't respect your receivers, and we're going to make you win. And Mahomes, I thought, made a nice counter. Again, it's career high, 7 scrambles. You do not see Mahomes scramble that much, especially early in the season. So I thought it was a great cat and mouse game that the Chiefs were kind of winning until that interception. That interception in the red zone really flipped the game. And that ball could have deflected anywhere, but it deflected right into Makuba's hands, and he made a nice play. But I do not think it is time to panic for the Kansas City Chiefs. I would be buying KC. I think they go into MetLife this week. I think they get a big win, and it's going to set up a massive game next week that I think the Chiefs end up winning against the Ravens in KC. So hate now. I know that the Chiefs haters are loving it right now. I see a lot of memes on social media. Oh, 0-2, 0-2. Great. We've seen 0-2 teams make the playoffs before. In fact, I think 3 teams last year at 0-2 made the playoffs. So I am not panicking if I am a Kansas City Chiefs backer or fan. In fact, I think this is a good buying opportunity for KC to win the division.